Picture this. You're sitting down to a plate of your favorite comfort food. Maybe it's a juicy burger, a handful of salty fries, or that soda you've loved since forever. It's the kind of meal that warms your soul, right? But then, out of nowhere, this nagging thought creeps in. What if this is secretly hurting my kidneys? I totally get it. You want to enjoy your food, savor those little joys in life, but there's this quiet worry whispering, am I doing the right thing for my health? And let's be real, after 60, that question gets louder. Every bite starts to feel like a gamble. Is this okay for me, or am I rolling the dice with my body? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Hey there, I'm your name, and today we're tackling something that hits close to home. The 5 foods kidney patients absolutely need to avoid, and the surprising reasons why they're such a big deal. Now, this isn't some dry, preachy health lecture. I promise you that. It's the real-life story of Linda, a 65-year-old grandma from Ohio who could be your neighbor, your friend, or even you. Linda loved her Sunday steak dinners and cracking open a cold Pepsi on a hot day. But when her doctor dropped the bombshell, "Your kidneys are struggling," she froze. She thought, how am I supposed to give up everything I love? Am I doomed to a life of bland meals and constant worry? Sound relatable? Maybe you've felt that same panic, that sinking feeling of losing control over your health, wondering if you're a burden to your kids or grandkids. But here's the twist. Linda didn't just survive, she thrived. She figured out how to protect her kidneys and still enjoy life, laughing with her grandkids over a meal without that cloud of fear hanging over her. In the next 10 minutes, I'm taking you on that journey with her. You'll uncover which everyday foods, ones you might be eating right now, are quietly putting your kidneys under pressure. We're talking stuff you'd never suspect, things you might think, oh, just a little won't hurt. Spoiler, it can. You'll learn why these foods are risky, even in small bites, and here's the best part. How to swap them out without feeling like you're punishing yourself. Imagine this. What if you could sit down to eat, knowing you're doing something good for your body, feeling lighter, stronger, and more in charge? That's what Linda found, and it's what I want for you too. So right now, take a second and ask yourself, am I eating any of these 5 things? Maybe it's that salty snack you can't resist, or that fruit you thought was healthy. Don't stress. I'm not here to point fingers or make you feel bad. I'm here to walk you through Linda's story, from those sleepless nights of worry to the moment she took back control with confidence. It's not as hard as you think, and you don't have to do it alone. Stick with me to the end, because I've got a simple, no-pressure tip to get you started today. No big life overhaul required. Ready to feel better and live better? Let's dive in. Let's step into Linda's world. She's 65, living in a cozy small town in Ohio, the kind of place where everyone knows your name. One ordinary Tuesday, she's sitting in her doctor's office, expecting a routine checkup, when bam, the news hits her like a ton of bricks. Linda, your kidneys are struggling. You've got to change how you eat, starting now. She's stunned. Linda's no stranger to life's ups and downs, but this feels personal. She's the queen of Sunday dinners. Think golden, salty fries piled high next to a sizzling steak, the kind of meal that brings her back to her childhood, laughing around the table with her folks. Food's her comfort, her joy, and now it's a threat. Her daughter, sitting beside her, squeezes her hand and says, "Mom, we've got to be careful. I need you around for a long time." That's the moment Linda's journey begins, and trust me, it's one you're going to relate to. Today, I'm kicking things off with the first 2 of the 5 foods Linda, and maybe you need to watch out for. First up, salty foods. We're talking fries, crispy bacon, that extra dash of salt you sneak onto your plate when no one's looking. Linda lived for that salty crunch. It was her go-to after a long day. But here's the jaw-dropper. Just 1 serving of fries can slam your body with over 1,000 milligrams of sodium. That's double what weak kidneys can handle in a whole day. Too much salt is like sending your kidneys into overtime with no breaks. They're working double shifts just to keep up. What happens next? Your ankles start swelling, your energy tanks, and you're left feeling like a deflated balloon. Linda used to shrug it off. A little salt won't hurt anybody. But then she caught a glimpse of her puffy feet in the mirror one morning and thought, oh no, my kidneys are begging for mercy. That was her wake-up call, and it might be yours too. Next on the chopping block, red meat. Think steak, burgers, that juicy ribeye Linda grilled up for burger night with her grandkids. She'd always say, "Meat's good for you, puts hair on your chest." But here's the catch she didn't see coming. The protein in red meat is a beast for weak kidneys to tackle. It's like asking a rusty old pickup truck to haul a trailer full of bricks. It'll groan, sputter, and eventually give out. For Linda, too much red meat left her kidneys exhausted and her body dragging. She'd wake up feeling like she'd run a marathon in her sleep, not knowing her beloved burgers were the culprits. But here's where it gets good. Linda didn't throw in the towel. She didn't say goodbye to flavor or fun. She started small, swapped the salt shaker for a sprinkle of herbs, traded beef for lean turkey. And you know what? She felt the difference fast. Her body felt lighter, like a weight had lifted, and she wasn't wiped out by noon. This is just the start of her story, but it's already a game changer. Stick around, because if Linda can turn it around, so can you. Linda wasn't about to give up. She'd already tackled salt and red meat, feeling lighter than she had in years, but that nagging question lingered. What else is sneaking around, messing with my kidneys? She was on a mission now, determined to take back her health one step at a time. And trust me, you're going to want to hear this next part. Today, we're digging into the next 2 foods Linda had to face down, and they're ones you might be cozying up to right now without a clue. Let's jump in. Number 3, sugary sodas. Think Coke, Pepsi, that fizzy treat Linda cracked open every afternoon like clockwork. Picture her on her porch swing, the Ohio sun dipping low, sipping that ice-cold can and thinking, this is my little reward after a long day. No big deal, right? Wrong. Turns out, all that sugar and those sneaky chemicals were brewing trouble. They jack up your risk of kidney stones, those tiny jagged rocks that turn your insides into a battlefield. Here's the kicker. Studies say folks who drink soda regularly have a 23% higher chance of getting them. Linda's jaw dropped when she heard that. Wait, just one can does all that? She'd been rolling the dice every afternoon, not knowing each sip was like tossing a pebble into her kidneys, waiting for it to grow into something painful. That hit her hard. Maybe it's hitting you too. Ever feel a twinge and wonder what's going on in there? Then there's number 4, processed foods. We're talking hot dogs, frozen dinners, that bag of chips you grab when you're too tired to cook. Linda was the queen of microwave meals. Pop one in, 5 minutes later, dinner's done. She'd plop down with her TV tray, digging into a Salisbury steak, thinking, this is easy living. But here's the dirty secret. One of those frozen trays can slam you with 1,500 milligrams of sodium, nearly a whole day's worth in one sitting. Add in the preservatives, and it's like handing your kidneys a ticking time bomb. They're already working hard to keep you going, and now they're drowning in salt and junk. Linda didn't see it coming. She thought quick meals were her friend, not her foe. But when she started waking up groggy, feeling like she'd been hit by a truck, she knew something had to give. Here's where Linda turned it around, and it's pure gold. She didn't just toss everything out and cry over her losses. She got smart. That soda? Swapped it for a tall glass of water with a splash of lemon, crisp, refreshing, and zero guilt. Those frozen dinners? She traded them for a homemade veggie soup, simmering on the stove with fresh carrots and a little love, just as fast, but a million times kinder to her kidneys. The payoff was unreal. She started sleeping like a baby, no more staring at the ceiling half the night. Her energy crept back, and she felt in control again. You can do this too. One small swap, one little win at a time. Linda's proving it's not about perfection, it's about progress. Ready to see where this takes her next? Hang on tight. Linda was on a roll, feeling stronger every day, but then came the moment that flipped everything she thought she knew upside down. She's sitting at her kitchen table one morning, peeling a banana, her daily ritual, her little health kick. She'd always told herself, fruit's my safe zone, it's good for me, right? Then her doctor drops a bombshell at her next checkup. Linda, those potassium-rich fruits, like bananas and oranges, aren't your friends right now. She blinks, confused. Potassium's supposed to be a hero for your heart. She'd heard that a million times on morning talk shows. But here's the twist that stopped her cold. When your kidneys are weak, they can't flush that potassium out fast enough. It piles up in your blood, turning into a silent troublemaker that can throw your ticker out of whack. Linda's jaw hit the floor. You mean my banana could mess with my heart? Her doc nods, gentle but firm. Switch to apples, they're safer for you. That was it, her big aha moment. Not everything labeled healthy was her ally. It was like finding out a trusted friend had been double-crossing her all along. She sat there, staring at that half-peeled banana, and something clicked. This wasn't just about food anymore. It was about taking the reins, seeing through the noise to what her body really needed. So Linda made the call. She ditched the last of the 5 culprits, salt, red meat, soda, processed foods, and now those sneaky high-potassium fruits. And oh man, did she feel the shift. It wasn't instant like some Hollywood miracle, but a slow, steady bloom. Her body started feeling lighter, like she'd shed an invisible backpack she didn't know she'd been lugging around. Nights that used to be a restless blur turned into deep, solid sleep, the kind where you wake up and actually feel human again. Best of all, that constant knot of worry in her chest, the one that tightened every time she sat down to eat, it unraveled. She caught herself laughing over breakfast one day, telling her daughter, "I can't believe a few changes did this. I feel like me again." That's when it hit her. She wasn't just surviving her kidney struggles, she was running the show now. And here's the part that's going to light a fire under you. Linda didn't turn her life inside out to get there. She didn't swear off joy or chain herself to a diet she hated. She picked smarter, herbs instead of salt, water over soda, apples instead of bananas, little moves that stacked up to a big win. The reward? Energy that didn't fizzle out by noon, peace of mind that let her breathe easy, and the promise of more years trading stories with her grandkids over a meal she didn't have to second guess. She'd sit on her porch, watching them play, and think, "I'm still here for this, and I'm not going anywhere." Linda's proof it's possible, and she's throwing the door wide open for you to step through too. You don't need to be perfect or overhaul everything overnight. Just start where she did, with one smart choice. Feel that spark? That's your shot at more energy, more calm, more life. Linda grabbed it. Why not you? Let's see how she seals the deal next. So there you have it, the 5 foods your kidneys are begging you to dodge if they need a little TLC. Salt that sneaks into your fries, red meat weighing down your burgers, soda fizzing with trouble, processed foods hiding in your freezer, and even those high-potassium fruits like bananas that sound innocent but aren't. Linda, our 65-year-old Ohio grandma, didn't just hear this and shrug. She took it step by step, one small tweak at a time, and now she's standing tall, confident she's got her health in her hands. She's not hunched over, worrying about every bite anymore. She's out there, soaking up life with her grandkids, feeling like she's won back years she thought were slipping away. And here's the best part. You don't have to leap into this all at once like some health guru on a mission. Start small, swap that soda for a cool glass of water, maybe toss in a lemon slice for a little zing, and watch how it snowballs into something bigger, something real. This video isn't just a checklist to tape on your fridge and forget. It's a wake-up call wrapped in a promise. You deserve to feel good, to sit down with your family and laugh over a meal without that gnawing, what if in the back of your mind. You deserve mornings where you wake up refreshed, not dragging, and days where you're not wondering if you're a burden to the ones you love. I told you at the start I'd give you something valuable, and I hope you're walking away with more than just facts. I hope you're feeling that spark, that little nudge that says, "Hey, I can do this too." Linda's story isn't some fairy tale. It's proof that small moves can rewrite your future, and I'm betting you've got that same grit in you. So what's next? Let's make it real right now. Step 1. Take a peek in your kitchen. Any of these 5 culprits lurking in your pantry or fridge. That bag of chips, that can of Coke, that frozen dinner you've been leaning on. Spot it, name it. Step 2. Pick one tiny change, just like Linda did. Maybe it's trading salt for a sprinkle of garlic powder, or ditching that banana for an apple. You don't need to flip your world upside down. One swap can kickstart the whole thing. Step 3. If you're fired up for more easy tips to rock life after 60, hit that subscribe button. I've got your back with more tricks to keep you feeling strong and in charge. And here's where we connect. Drop a comment below and tell me, which food are you ditching first? Maybe it's the soda you sip at lunch or the hot dogs you grill on weekends. I want to hear your story, because you're not just watching this, you're part of it now. Linda's out there, living proof you can turn worry into power, one bite at a time. She's not looking back, and neither should you. You've got everything you need to start, a little know-how, a little heart, and a whole lot of life still ahead. So what's your move? Let's make it happen together.